Right, down on the plot, just giving us a little water of the stuff that I've got down in seed, and the potatoes are all coming up to the point where they need earthing up. Now, I always leave it level so that the potatoes, you can see that they're coming up early enough. Remember, first row, they're being deeper and they haven't come up quite so much. But you can see that the second row, and the third row for that matter, have come up quite well. Now, we've got fertiliser in the rows 1 and rows 3, and rows 2 and rows 2 and rows 4. Well, half a row of row 4 are actually just being plunked in the ground. We've got 5 rows of potatoes. Coming up okay. There's a bit of weeds, so we'll just go around and weed it, and then just make a general earthing up, just leaving just enough flour so you can see where we are. And over on the canes, this ground is all nicely prepared for the French beans and the runner beans, and I've got daffodils, marigolds ready to grow in. Our local garden centre is opening on Wednesday, so that's good, and we can start this in earnest. Now the blackberry bush is really growing well, lots of new shoots which you bend over for next year, so we're going to get some nice blackberries. Now that is definitely an apple tree in the corner, you can see the apples coming. This is the mystery tree. If anyone's, could be a plum, I'm not 100% sure, but we've definitely got things happening on there, which is all good. Might just have a little go in the fruit cage just to see how those strawberries are. Looking good, what you can see. But there are, those blessed bees are still coming up, so we'll have another go in there as well. Okay, we've done a bit of weeding. Now I just dug between each of the rows just to loosen up the dirt, and so when we sort of put the dirt on the top it's not too compacted. Okay, we're all done. All the potatoes are being earthed up, and you just about see where they are. Look really carefully, see a little bit of green. Just helps to sort of keep the rows tidy, and probably need earthing up one more time. We'll wait until this next sort of 3 weeks, I'd say, and then they'll pop their heads up again, and then we'll earth it up about another sort of 3 inches, and then we'll just let them grow. Now the peas are slow. We've just not had any luck with the peas this year, but I think we'll get a few pods. The rogue ones at the end, it's just a couple, but the biomede's trying to take hold. This stuff, you just got to keep pulling it out once it's in there. There's no point trying to dig it out. You keep pulling and pulling. I put weed killer on that one, so we just let that die off. So we need to water the back plot, and then we'll get back into the fruit cage and pick up what's left of the weeds. Now the other thing is the grapes. I was sort of reading that this time of year you're going to get grapes. You don't want all their goodness to go into the end of the shoots. So basically we have got something growing there. Could be grapes. Well, I'm not a great expert in grapes. I managed to get some grapes last year. We've got something there. It's a bloody snail. Oh dear, even in the fruit cage they're all over the place. We've got some cherries. Got the cherries coming. We have a decent amount of blossom on the cherry. It's only a dwarf cherry tree. Now that side shoot looks like it's died. I have to just cut that one back. Plenty of action on this black currant tree there. That's all going to be black currants. Now, some people put hay straw underneath the strawberries. When you've got a fruit cage, it's not quite so urgent. I'm going to give it a go without the hay this year, because I still think sometimes the slugs can get in and just go on top of the hay, and you can't even see them once the hay's down, the straw's down. So this year I'm going to leave the fruit cage as it is. Now, there's a bit of I've got some strawberries which sort of, they were runners. Now these ones I've moved over to here. Now these are sort of newer plants. They're sort of runners from fruit cage, and I just thought I'd just see how they grow. And to be honest, they're growing really well. I'm going to put a little bit of straw down on this area, and then we can compare. I'm a great believer in sort of comparing two different methods. So my cold frame's going to come into use soon, because the runner beans are going to have to come down. Probably spend a sort of week, not in the greenhouse but just in here, just getting climatised. It's not quite as warm on the cold frame as it is in the greenhouse. So yeah, another hour's work and we'll be heading home. Wasn't too bad. Filled half a bucket. Got a few slug pellets down. Biomead was doing its usual, but not too bad. You just got to keep on top of it. It's almost impossible to dig out of every root, but if you see a bit, you just got to pull it, get rid of it. We're all finished for tonight. There's my onions. Little bit of weeds in between, but nothing too much. We can sort of hoe those off tomorrow and keep a track. I've been putting weed killer down. For anyone who can remember my early videos, if you've had a look, we had a dandelion problem, but I think we've eradicated it. I've been putting weed killer down regularly on here. So I've got this here. This is weed control fabric, and it's 8 meters by 1.5, so that will be doubled up. I'll lay that down and then a few sort of pegs down it, and then we'll get the chippings down on top of that. Another job, got my blue tubing. I'm going to make some nets for my brassicas and whatever else the pesky pigeons or birds can get their hands on. Our local tip's not open, so we've still got loads of rubbish around. Another job I suppose I could do is give the shed a bit of a paint, but run out of the green paint, used it all on my shed at home. Onwards and upwards. Like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. More subscribers the merrier. First target is to get to that 100 mark, so that would be fantastic if we could manage that. So pass the word, like and subscribe, as if you've watched it all the way to the end. Maybe I should ask you to do that at the beginning. Okay, cheers, thank you.